That's great.
Dude, Max,
Oh,
you guys
we're live.
did so much.
Okay.
Yes, you guys did great.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was great.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You killed it.
Cool.
You want me to put a link on the Facebooks?
Who's live
sure.
with us?
Yes.
Sabrina, you want to do this thing? You can. How do I do it? I just press how do
Can someone show how to go live on Instagram?
I can figure it out.
I'm gonna figure out how to put this on this tripod right here.
Ricky Crow is actually great.
Dan worked on it.
Yeah. You were mentioning that.
That's your story.
I did a couple of friends.
Do you know how to go live?
I don't know anything.
Oh, we're going live? Okay.
Yeah, I see the link.
Oh, whoa! It's like
Can you sign
Inception!
Oh, here it is. Oh, wait, no, it's not it.
Alright, how do I access the chat?
Nick,
I can see it.
do you know how to go live here, Nick?
Okay, got it. Okay.
Isn't it like a button up on the top? Right, Sabrina?
This
Show.
camera?
Maybe. And then there should be a
Hi! Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
boy,
do
you got
this.
it, you got it.
Wait,
Oh, George.
orientation is locked.
Someone says
Why
hello.
is this locked?
I'm putting the thing in the.
We are live, Sabrina.
Why? Put it on him! He's a guest!
Hey!
What's
What's
up?
up?
What's up, everybody?
Wait, are we live?
Yeah, we just went live, and we're telling our followers that we started a live video, so no one's watching.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna pee also then.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
pee.
Oh, okay. Well, Max is going pee. I'm trying to figure out how to... Whoa. Oh, this is what it does. Okay. How do I get my orientation not locked?
We need the drawings, right?
Yeah.
We
We're
need
gonna
to
do
draw.
that live.
the drawing.
Oh, crap. So who can record that?
I can record it.
Okay, cool.
I want
Alright,
drawings.
I'm gonna put this...
There's Brent.
Hey, man.
This is
Oh,
Brent.
Alex just joined.
Great.
What's up, Alex?
Are we on Instagram?
What chips are these?
We're on YouTube and
These
Instagram.
are-
Wow.
Guys, go
These
ahead
are
and send
classic
questions.
Kroger potato chips.
Wow.
These
I
are
know
the-
you had a
The
question,
cheapest
Georgia
and also
L,
the
on
tastiest
YouTube.
chips around.
They are really good.
Maso butt. Oh,
Am I
Maso
correct?
Bot,
If
64.
you want, I
Maso
can
Bot, are
look
you
it
a
up,
friend of ours, or
or
are you just
you can
watching
ask it
this?
again if you can
You don't
remember
know
what the
us.
question was, or I can just look it up. One second, let me get this on a
It's
tripod.
probably Abed's not watching.
What?
What's that?
It was Abed.
I bet it'll be on eventually.
I know, Abed's always on.
comes on eventually.
Okay.
Abed?
How do you unlock?
Oh, that guy. Yep.
Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. How do you unlock
Oh,
this
she says she
fucking...
sort of knows us.
Who is this person?
Mastobot 64.
I don't know.
Ooh, Max is a subscriber now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's.
Are you subscribed, Brent?
I should be.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I guess
Max
we're
is-
going
We have-
this
We
way.
have 2-3
That's
viewers.
so
right now.
annoying.
Yeah, well, I can.
We're gearing up here, guys. We're gearing up. Oh, your mom joined, Sabrina.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Say
crap, we're
hi.
live right now.
Yeah, we're living it up. Mozobot. Sorry, Mozobot. I apologize. I pronounced your name wrong. Your mom says hello, Sabrina.
Hi. I'm setting up. Here
Is
we
it
go.
live right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're live.
Okay, let me take a picture of me and Brent and I'll post it on my Instagram. Hopefully that'll...
Do it.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, Nick,
What was
Sabrina's
that?
mom says hello.
Hi.
Well,
Who's mom?
are you gonna post it on the band one or your one?
I'll do it on
I posted our link to
Okay.
the YouTube on our Facebook.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna find it on your Facebook and share it right now.
Brent, look at
Hey,
the
Nick.
camera.
Can
Hey!
What's up, guys?
Every now and then
Cool.
move
So,
it so that like whoever's
We're
talking
warming up here.
can, like,
We're gonna have. Oh, there's potato chip in my beard.
or not.
But as soon as we have a few more viewers, we're gonna start.
We've got
I
5
already
on,
have
fi-
three
on-
questions to start
questions
off
for
with.
warming
Or
up.
not 3, like some set of questions to start off. Sorry, Brian, if you want to sit down, you can sit down. Go ahead and sit. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up these questions for you guys.
Okay.
Where is...
Nick's hacking.
hacking the
He's gonna hack like he's never hacked before.
Alright, to start off with some questions. This is from Dwayne Biddix, which is, you may know him as DLX_artist.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an awesome fan and his art is amazing. Question number 1. Would you suggest doing something like creating a webcomic to help get work as a character designer, or is that sort of confusing the issue?
Webcomic I think is a is a great idea because it's going to be an awesome body of work where you redraw the same characters over and over again. But it's not the type of work that's going to help you specifically as a character designer. That's just good artist, like...
That might help you more with boards.
Yeah, board.
You can tell a story.
Yeah, webcomic is definitely board related, I think. That'd be a path to boards. But it's not going to hurt you.
Are we looking
No,
in the camera right now?
Which camera?
Back camera?
We're just talking.
You can just chill.
Where is the camera?
You can look anywhere. There's like one here, one here. Just
Okay.
kind of chill and be yourselves. You don't have to look in any camera.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to get recognized online, right, you could draw like Sailor Moon or like any kind of like fan stuff, or you could make like content like a webcomic. And I think I see equal amount of shares between Sailor Moon and here's a funny story about me and my boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, if you make...
So I do think it is nice to like share personal stories online if you want to get followers.
Yeah,
sure.
if you make comics about you and your nerdy boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, I mean, you could land a sweet job at BuzzFeed and just be like set for life.
Yeah.
I've noticed fan art gets more hits than anything else because
Yeah.
it has those
That's a good
tags.
way to
People
bring it in.
recognize it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, the other reason you should do fan art illustration is like you're not having to rely on creating a really interesting design. It's like it's already existing, but you can tweak it to make it more interesting. And the other thing, you can pump out more illustrations than you can a comic.
Yeah.
A comic, it takes forever to do. You could do one comic a month, but you can do maybe 4 to 5 to 6 illustrations a month.
Comics
Yeah,
take
sure.
forever.
Yeah, comics are a lot of work.
Yeah.
Especially to come up with a good idea.
Mozo Bud has a follow-up to that question. She asked, do you make full turnarounds for all of your characters in your webcomic?
If you were going to make a webcomic,
It would help.
it would help to do a full turnaround of all your characters. Yeah. If you were going to really design it, I mean, some people, you could do one that's just very off the cuff and be like, oh, we'll see where the designs go as they happen. Depends on how serious you want
Or if
to
you're doing like a
Depends
side
on
note in
the style.
happiness, they probably only ever do like a front view of the
That's
character.
yeah, they do 3/4 and that's
It depends on the seriousness of your art.
I love turnarounds.
Yeah.
You should just do turnarounds to the end.
Period.
Yeah.
Because
If
they
you're-
do help if you want to get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 80% of your job as a character designer is turnarounds.
For sure, for sure.
And the rest is all subjective.
Question number 2. By Dwayne Biddix. If moving to California is not really possible, how would be the best to start finding freelance work I could do from home?
Craigslist. Like, just find
Oh, really?
someone who needs t-shirt designs. That's how I did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You did t-shirt designs?
I made t-shirt designs, yeah, just whatever I can find. And then there will be something in your area where someone needs more consistent work and you'll be able to do something.
like
But-
you said, advertising.
yeah, advertising. You would probably work in ads. Because animation doesn't exist everywhere, but that doesn't mean you can't work in art-related fields where you're going to be an illustrator.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll get you paid, and then you can use that to work on your own things,
Yeah.
like doing your own short, developing your own characters, pitching that.
Yeah,
trying that.
Sure.
You don't need to work in animation to do animation. You could work at some ad studio and just make a lot of cool ton of illustrations and then just do ads in animation in your free time like that. That's a great career path.
I think if your dream is to work in California in the animation industry, I think you'd probably just consider looking for landing that first gig, and then telling them that you will move out there once you know for sure that you'll get the gig, and then also having a plan to move in with some roommates to make it cheap out here.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only possible way
Yeah.
it seems. But it is possible. You just you have to find people to move in with, and also land that first gig, just so everything is safe and secure. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gamble like what Brent did. He made
Yeah.
contacts out here before he moved out here.
Yeah.
You knew people before coming out here.
And no one knows if you're gonna make it. You might fail and like not make it, and that happens, and that's like the dark side. I just watched some girl, like, she was out here for 4 years and never found work, but you know what? She
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
And that's something, and you're never gonna know if you don't try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and even
for
if
sure.
you don't find like a gig, remember our role. I had one person tell us we're gypsies. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's culturally appropriate. So Romanovs, but you may work for a month and you may get laid off. You may work for 4 months and you may get laid off. You may land that job where you work for 2 years and that would be solid. But if you count on that, it's all a gamble.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. You usually work for like 6 to 8 months.
That's
On
a
a
good
show.
gig, yeah.
and then you're off. So, but I worked in advertising too, and the thing about advertising is they need to win the pitch every single week. So it's a bunch of competing ad companies, and they all come up with an idea for a pitch for, like, let's say McDonald's, and then one of them wins, and so they always need different artists to try different ideas constantly. So working for an ad agency is great practice.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So I guess the ultimate answer to that question is there's a lot of different ways to find work that's not in LA, but if you really want to work in animation, LA is the #1 choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After all that being said, come to LA.
Yeah.
Like you should just figure it out.
Yeah.
I know we
mean,
were discussing earlier that like there's the East Coast is starting to have a little bit of a boom too.
Yeah. Actually, we have a
Really?
comment on here that says there's a lot of animation work. This is from Mozobot again. Mozobot. I keep saying butt. I'm sorry. Mozo. That says there's a lot of work up here in Vancouver. So I guess that's what she's.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Canada
Canada,
too.
yeah.
Vancouver.
Well, we have a classmate who's in New York at the Titmouse in New York, and she was on Zorn. She was
Shout out
Chi-
Lauren Lorenzo.
China, Illinois, I think, was out there.
Yeah, she's in production over there.
Illinois.
Yeah,
Well,
No, it's also important to note that
Atlanta.
if you literally want to do frame by frame animation, be the person who works in Harmony and Flash, you
That's
will have to be in
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
down here in LA, we do designs most of the time. Designs and storyboards.
pre-production.
Yeah, pre-production stuff.
For
So
sure, yeah. I guess there's some retake animation jobs
Yeah, you
available.
can have a retake.
a couple, yeah. But I think those 5 jobs have been
Yeah,
filled.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. There.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What are 2 to 3 of the best ways you would suggest getting on an art director's radar?
Wow.
That's a good choice. A good question.
Oh,
A good portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, a nice short email.
Yeah. I would say become friends with them on Facebook and post every day.
Yeah.
But then when you send them your portfolio, send them 8 to 10 images. Like don't flood them with like 50 images.
Yeah,
You should have a website. Just like this is like my work.
Yeah.
I mean that's
No,
a given.
it's on.
Yeah, usually art directors
I'm in the
they're
way.
looking for people's content too. So if you're of any note and you have any sort of skill, your stuff would have gotten out there. Maybe that person would have seen your stuff already.
For
Yeah, that's you want to be just on people's radar in general. Yeah.
We just had a bunch of people join, just to let you know. So
Oh, awesome. What's
hello
up?
to the prehistoric. Hello to Trish M89. She
Hey,
says
what's up?
Hi.
Thank you for the
Hi,
100
Trisha.
bits.
hello to DLX artist. Hello to Lexelberg. What's up, guys? How's it going?
This is a good question because
We have one from YouTube as well.
So these people
Okay,
have
we'll go
not
to that one
seen
right
what we
after
just
this.
recorded.
They
right?
did not see
Okay.
what we just recorded. So if
Okay.
they ask a question that we answered in there,
Okay.
we can just give a quick answer.
Of
but
course,
then-
yeah.
Okay.
What's
Well,
up?
I'm Max. That's
I'm-
Brent.
I'm Brent.
Okay.
we all worked together on Rick and Morty.
On Rick and Morty a long time ago, but we do not represent the views
so
of Rick and Morty.
I do.
Except for Brian.
this is a good question. This is the last question from Dwayne. Since I am self-taught, what are your suggestions on finding a mentor? How should you approach someone to ask? I just want to add before you guys answer this that I do want to create an episode or like a little vlog soon about sources from the internet that's really great for you to watch to help your drawing skills.
That's a
So
good idea.
I'm going to put some sources together soon for you guys.
Yeah.
Sabrina's my mentor.
Yeah.
And go ahead and Max and Brent answer that question.
I don't think you should ever burden someone with being the responsibility of being your mentor. You need to learn from a lot of different people and learn at your, like, just be an information sponge. No one is going to teach you the way. Eventually,
there is no
The way?
There is no the way. And, like, you would, like, the weird mentor, like, mentee relationship is, like, that's probably problematic. Like, no one's gonna teach you like you're some kind of Renaissance painter.
It'll lead to sexual harassment, is what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Yeah, and one day you're gonna work in an animation studio, and your art director is gonna tell you what he wants, and you're gonna learn a lot from them, and that'll be the closest relationship that you have to being a mentor mentee. But yeah, don't seek that out.
There isn't one animation guy like, what's the name of the guy from Kill Bill with the white beard?
Yeah.
Pi May.
Pai Mei. There's no Pai Mei of animation. So like,
Nice one.
like you're gonna have to find all the pies and all the Meis and decide what their different teachings, what all their different teachings are, and compile it together into your identity.
No, on
Yeah.
a similar note, if there's someone whose style or a show you're particularly interested in, you reach out to those people. If they're available and they have time to talk to you, then maybe they will. But
And
like, sorry.
Stuff like this.
Yeah, and anyone that tries to show you the one way it works, like, oh, this is my style, like, this is the true way of animation, they have, like, a really long blog, and they only show you exactly how it works. Like,
Okay.
yeah, you're going to end up drawing just like that, and then it's going to be very hard because you can't transition, and you
Yeah.
believe that there are, like, a certain truth. There's no truth, it's just It's just drawing and like adapting to other things.
Yeah, I was gonna compare Goro Miyazaki's son,
Oh.
draws and directs just like him, and now he's in his father's shoes.
Yeah, but
You don't want that.
Not as good. Either.
Yeah, you don't want that. Like you want to be yourself, so you take from many influences.
I mean, I'll say this. I wish we still had like proper like Renaissance style mentorships and apprenticeships, because then I would totally like, I want to do like this person. I'll learn from them and then move on.
Yeah, but now we just have schoolism and really expensive online classes.
Just want to say hi to the new people that joined. We had Christopher
Hey.
What's up?
Carver.
Hey.
Christopher Carver, what's up?
Hey,
And
Chris,
also,
thank you for the
I know
1,000
Chris
bits.
Carver, what's up?
Not Kevin Lee joined, and so did Dave Dave Artu Martinez. What's up, guys?
Yo.
Just
So-
in case you just came, this is Brent right here.
Hey.
He is a background and prop designer for television animation.
That's
This you forgot who you were. This is Maximus right here.
Yo.
Max, he has
He
an
is-
identity crisis.
He is a character designer for
You gotta look at the
television
camera, Max.
animation.
It's just like-
So if you guys
just
have
like
any
Bam.
questions for these two, they were our guests. We just finished recording our,
Yeah.
I think 15th or 16th
Yeah.
episode of Ask
Wow.
with these guys. So
Do you have YouTube?
ask away and we'll tell you.
Ask us some questions.
So
I'm Brent.
I'm Max.
Georgia L, our first viewer on YouTube, she actually asked us
Oh yeah,
previously.
she's a
she
band
asked,
animation follower too.
yeah, cool. Hi.
What's up? She asked me a question on my Instagram.
How many works should you have in a professional portfolio? Is it better to have realistic stuff or cartoony stuff or both?
You know this one, Max.
I would say I really love. I was hiring people on Rick and Morty in season 3, and I was so annoyed when people had more than 8 portfolio pages. I just want to like say I never had that perspective before of like looking at other people's portfolios. I hated it. Like when they had like 20 portfolio pages, I wanted to strangle them. So like I would say 8 pages, 8 solid pages, but like 8 to 10 pages.
Yeah, and it
Max.
You can have a bunch of work, but when you're submitting that portfolio, like condense it down to like 8 pieces that are going to be for the show you're applying to.
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say that next. So like make it look like the show you're applying to.
Or stuff that's within the same ballpark.
Within the same ballpark.
So does that mean that it's always changing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what those 8 pages are. And send a link to your personal like blog or whatever.
Yeah.
So like
If they're interested, they could see more.
yeah, if they're interested. So you don't have to put a bunch of process work in your portfolio. You put that in that link for your blog.
So you want like an emailed like portfolio that's like separate and targeted towards the job, and then on the website they can have a more general thing, but it
Yeah.
should still sort of be focused a bit-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's targeted towards the job precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I send a PDF that's got 8 pages, and then there's a link in my URL, in my email to my website, and everyone can go on that and see my whole blog. If they want
Totally.
to.
Cool.
We have a question over here
What's
from not Kevin Lee.
Okay.
Is that the guy you knew?
Hmm?
Is that the guy you knew?
That was the
Oh no.
Only Christopher.
I know a
he
Kevin Lee, I don't
he
know his
says, "Hey, can I
That's
be
fine.
your intern?"
Oh, for BAM or for
For BAM?
For
I
BAM
don't
or
know.
ass?
I guess just
Who's
in general.
intern? Be specific.
Yeah, be
I
specific.
think
Kevin.
BAM would be a good question.
Yeah,
for that
we
one.
have so much editing to do. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need an intern, guy.
Do you know Premiere, Photoshop?
You know what? We
InDesign,
do.
Yeah.
And then he
Illustrator?
followed that up with, "How did you land your jobs?" But Kevin Lee, they go over that in the Ask
We're
podcast.
gonna tell you all about
In a
that
couple weeks, it'll
Yeah.
be released. So just hold tight, and you'll find out all how they landed their first jobs.
Yeah, I'll just like give you like a little teaser, like the Illuminati is real, and we were born into this.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like human sacrifices up
Yeah.
in the redwoods that we have to go to.
There was
Yeah.
a silver Wacom pen on my tongue.
Yeah.
He says either or, so either asses or BAM's intern. You know?
Yeah, I mean, hit us up.
Yeah,
We'll take you to
email.
lunch. Interns work for free, right?
Yeah.
email us.
I need someone to manage.
We need to know your skills.
I need someone to manage our social media. So if you just want to do that, dude.
Dude, bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com. Send us whatever the fuck. Send us your dick pics. Send us your dick pics.
They'll redraw it to work. with
Yeah.
animation.
bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com.
They'll redraw it into a Nick Jr. show.
Bam.redrawmydick at
Yeah.
Gmail.
Yeah.
Trisha?
bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com.
My sister will be sending in some dick drawings. I know that.
He says, "What is that email again?"
bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com.
Thanks.
All right.
So,
Any questions?
we have someone from YouTube saying,
She's got it.
Whiffysaurus. She's asking, how did you both get so cool?
I had to prune all the weirdness out over time because I was a weird ass fuck MMO kid who just like only like gamed hardcore on PCs every day and talked about Intel processors. But then like I had to say like
Not
that's not
surprised.
cool. Let's take all that stuff out. We'll leave only the not weird stuff. What about you, Max?
You're in that camera.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't think I'm cool.
That's fair.
That's what makes you so cool.
That's it, baby.
He's humble
Yeah.
and cocky all at
Yeah,
once.
you heard that song, "Bitch Be Humble."
Just take improv classes,
humble.
like for real.
Nice.
Yeah. Just
Any more
the
questions,
older
guys?
you get,
Yeah,
the
there's-
less
there's
shit
tons.
you give.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good way of getting
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You
just
level
stop
up.
giving.
Yeah.
Okay.
You realize everything's meaningless, and then
You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah. Once
Nihilism.
you have that deep knowing. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you think I'm cool.
Beta
Christopher says he's a little cool.
Beta Baxter asks, "What is your favorite episode of Rick and Morty?"
I love, because I'm very biased because
You worked on it.
I worked on it, but there was an episode where all the parasites show up, and I drew like 100 characters.
That was Juan's episode.
Yeah, that's an amazing episode.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
There you
So
go.
that's my favorite episode of Rick and Morty.
That's my favorite episode too.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite episode too. I'm
Yeah.
not even kidding.
I
Cool.
remember
love that
I drew-
episode
Turning-
so much.
I got to draw.
Was it Tinkle?
Oh yeah, Tinkle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then oh, by the way, Kevin just said, "I'm serious, guys. Please, if you want me to be your intern, follow or message me."
How about you follow them and message them?
Bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com.
Kevin, you got to follow these
Message
guys.
them.
Yeah, maybe, do you live in LA, Kevin?
Okay. Get
Okay,
back to us,
next
but-
one.
yeah.
We'll go to the next question.
So wait, did you both answer? Is it both of your favorite episodes?
That's my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
episode. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everyone's favorite episode.
Mine's
Yeah.
interdimensional cable. Too.
Oh.
Oh, two.
That's a
That's
good one.
my girlfriend loves that one. Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
This was
second
Columbus,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Plumbus and
I did
Man
the
versus
twerkers.
Car.
Man versus
Yeah.
Car.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent.
I got
Yeah.
the
I see
twerkers.
out of a
Commercials.
butthole.
Jerry
Yeah.
getting obliterated.
Christopher Carver says, "Man, that must have been nightmarish to turn all those characters."
Yeah, I have PTSD
Yeah.
to this day when I watch Rick and Morty.
I remember
Luckily, you
how
didn't
they-
have to come up with all of them yourself, right?
we came up with a lot. Yeah.
You just like a big idea.
But yeah,
behind
there's two other character designers.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't the joke I was making.
Oh.
That was me. I'm not. Well, I'm
Anyway.
not gonna talk about that.
it. Me at the turns.
Any other questions out there, guys?
Yeah, so Georgia L, she actually wanted to continue the previous question. Do you fill the pages in your portfolio, or is it better to make them more professional character turnarounds? How would you organize these pages?
Yeah. I mean, I would put at least one turn in there. You can animate it. I like to do that because it's nice and shiny. Other than that, like, you can do like a page that has a bunch of characters. You can have a page that has like a solid character with some poses. It's a variety. Yeah. Cool.
Withysaurus asks, what was your favorite production to work on?
Dang.
Dang.
Okay, so I loved Rick and Morty because it was so it was creatively very fulfilling, but it's a really hard show to work on because like all these characters come on screen and then they die that episode and they're never used again. So you're just like coming up with so much stuff, and it gets really it sounds like a dream job, but then like it really like starts to wear on you. Like you don't have as much creativity. But I also really loved working at Disney with this show called Future Worm because I love the crew so much.
Yeah.
And we all kind of knew it was just like, you know, a show for kids, so we weren't going to take it that seriously, so we had a great amount of fun together.
I've said it multiple times. Some of my favorite shows to work on were the ones where no one gave a shit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because you feel like you're a crew in the foxholes, like, we just gotta get this done, people.
Yeah, in the foxholes, baby.
I liked Harmon Quest.
Yeah.
That was my
Harmon Quest was
favorite.
good.
Harmon Quest is the fun, so fun.
That was the best.
because there's no scripts, so it's
Well,
like
and we were all in a tight room too, so we
Yeah.
were like all just were loud.
I
What was
like-
yours, Brent?
Just any production at Starbird.
Mm.
And then that includes Rick and Morty because I feel like it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
We were a family over
Yeah.
there.
So we have a couple questions here. You guys want me to ask them real quick?
Go
Yeah.
for it. We
Okay,
have one
first
over
one
here.
is, how quick do you have to be before people start noticing you?
What do you mean in your art?
I guess in your art, yeah.
You
He
should be.
says before they start. Oh, does he say gripping or griping? I don't know. How quick do you have to be before people start griping or gripping? I don't know.
Oh, griping. Oh, okay.
Oh, we got it.
What does that question mean?
Yeah. What does
Yeah.
that mean?
I think he's saying that you have to be, like, can you take your time to design a character, or do you have to get it out real soon?
Oh, yeah.
Or a background. or
Oh,
whatever.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speed
Yeah,
is
so, yeah.
always preferable.
Speed.
Yeah,
Well,
I
well,
see what you're saying.
There's like this triangle graph, like that you're on time, You are your personality is good,
Yeah.
and what's the third one? Your work is the quality of your work is really good. You can have 2 of those things. So like I'm fun to work with, and my work is good, but I'm not always on time, so it's okay. But like, you know, some people like their work is really really good and they're on time, but they're shitty like to spend time with. That's okay too.
Yeah.
And then like some people are like on time and they're fun to work with. Their work is kind of blah. That's okay too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to
Two
make sure
of the
you're
three?
2 of the 3.
2 of the 3. Yeah.
Cool. We have a couple more questions here, if that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, go for it.
The next one is, well, this we kind of answered, Kevin, but I'll ask it anyway. What made you want to get into animation, and when did you know you wanted to get into it? That's exactly the second question we asked in our interview, but
Yeah,
it's a pretty interesting story for both of them. You're gonna love it. Hold
you're
tight.
gonna have to
Yeah.
wait and watch
Hold on
that
that
and
one.
subscribe and like.
Yeah.
So next question we have from the prehistoric is,
Hi.
of all the characters you've designed, and well, since background designer and prop designer as well for Rick and Morty, of all the of all the characters / props you've designed for Rick and Morty, which one was your favorite?
That's a good question.
So what prop was your favorite, and what character was your favorite?
Go for it.
There's 2. I love the Gromphomite ships because those were just like big spaceships that I got to do, and then we also had 3D models made of them, which was fun.
Nice.
That you made of them.
Oh, actually, I had my friend make those.
Oh,
I made a bunch of 3D models
great.
of everything else.
You're slacking.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You did the ship, Rick ship.
I did not do Rick shit. That was
I
done.
thought you did
No,
Rick
that was on the pilot.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I didn't do the.
He does a lot of 3D.
I do the
model
3D
work.
models, but not those ones specifically, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, and then it's gonna sound dumb, but in episode 201, when Rick pulls out like this old dusty computer, that like he looks on the screen, there's 2 little dots, so he knows that
That's
there's 2
a
timelines.
Rickle in time, right?
Yeah, Rickle in time. That's like, I designed that after like a computer that I had like as a 14-year-old kid, like making computers out of junk.
You can do that when you're a prop.
So I was like, yeah, man, this is my old Pentium 1. There's like that old CRT screen, the RAM is sticking out, and it's like put on a piece of plywood like that. This is my computer that I had, and Rick is gonna have it too.
I remember
That's so cute.
I've done that so many times in props. When I've done props and boards, where I'm just like, I'm gonna make something that only relates to me.
Yeah.
It's a little personal inside joke.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
put myself in an episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do that too when you do characters.
What was Max's favorite character?
Oh man, I did like this disgusting creature in the alley when Jerry gets lost from daycare, and it's like having sex with itself. I love that creature.
That's good.
But then I also on season 3, a bunch of people like put designs in, but like I was like the character lead, so like I got to sort of like guide the way all the Vindicators looked together, and I'm really proud of the way
We
they
worked on that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way that they all look together.
Yeah,
like
they look
the
great.
finished product looks
Yeah,
awesome.
good team.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, the prehistoric followed up his question by saying, that answer is why I come here. Thanks, prehistoric. We have a few more questions, unless you want to go to one next.
Beta Baxter asked, "What was your favorite movie of 2017?"
Dang. Logan.
Logan was,
Which version?
Yeah, it
huh,
was.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was good. I agree.
Oh.
Because they came out with that black and white version of Logan.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I'm-
they had the.
I'm just talking about the stock Logan. Just in theaters Logan.
Mother was weird. Oh, I like Baby Driver. That was kind of fun.
Did Get
That
Out
that first
happen?
chasing was
Get
great.
Out.
Okay, I saw Get
That
Out.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I can't even think what came out last year.
That one and Mother.
Norm of the North,
Should be.
right?
Over the
Get
North,
outta here.
top notch.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love The Last Jedi. Jar Jar Binks was the best character of all time. Fight me.
Baby Driver
He was a
rules.
Sith Lord. We all know it.
Question.
Kevin Lee asked, do we know Matt Brousseau? Yes, we do. He's a cool guy. I like
Hey,
Matt
do
Brousseau.
you know him?
Matt,
How was
me
the
and
battery
Matt,
on
me
that?
and Matt are best buds.
Was this also a thing?
And then he asked,
Yeah.
we have another question that goes just like this. Do
It's
you
good.
all have any ideas for original shows of your own?
Yes.
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 So
Oh, Brian does
no
too.
further explanation.
Yeah,
of
we
this.
can't tell you.
Yeah.
Steal them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna steal them.
Jackers.
Yeah, guys, we don't trust you out there.
They
No,
already
just
have
kidding. You guys
something
are great.
good going. It's called BAM Animation. and
Yes,
it's
we
on
have a YouTube show, BAM Animation. Yeah, it stands
What's
for
that-
Brent and
what's-
Max.
What's that one link that you can send your drawing to?
It's
and
called bam.redrawmyart@gmail.com. I don't mind saying it as many times as you'd like me to, Sabrina.
The Nazi is like the Fourth Reich, and he gets him on the head with the umbrella.
Yeah.
I have a good question here. Are you guys going to do a WoW episode for BAM?
I hope so.
I hope not.
But I want to put it off because I don't want to make Max do another video game one for a while.
No, we will. I want to do a Cuphead one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna force each other to do each other's video games.
Yeah. I don't want to do that for a bit. I want to really badly because I love the look of that game, and I want to show people how I feel about it and what it would what the animation that I would do and really
Wow, or Cuphead.
What?
Cuphead.
No, WoW.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
The animation, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna break it up a little bit because I want to do a bunch of Max's ideas.
Well, we do our different. Brent gets to direct an episode, then I do. Brent, then me, then Brent, and then me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's why we did a PUBG one because that's the it video game right now.
For sure.
Well, it was Brent.
Fortnite's up and coming.
Yeah.
It's not serious enough for me. I'm talking about esports ready games, hardcore. Third-person shooter is just not very accurate. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Nah, it's too casual.
Peeled Potatoes says, "I'm so jealous of y'all. You guys are so lucky. I wish I was older. Oh, you'll be older.
You'll be older, dude.
Aw.
I wish I was younger, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. Another question is, what character from Rick and Morty questions?
Yeah.
From Rick and Morty.
We do not represent the views of Rick and Morty. We're just artists. I just want to make that clear.
Brian.
Whatever, man. We worked
Ryan
hard on that
Morty.
show. We can
did
use
work
it.
hard.
Just
What-
kidding.
What character
I don't own
deserves
it.
In your opinion, what character deserves its own spin-off from Rick and Morty?
Oh.
That's interesting. I want to see a Vindicators comic.
That's-
This should do.
Isn't that
That's like
Yeah.
a given, huh? Because they're like
Oh,
Avengers.
Vindicator's poster.
Oh.
The Jaguar.
the Jaguar?
Oh, Jaguar,
that'd
yeah.
be fun.
Wait, I'll tell you my favorite character and who I just want to see a sitcom of.
Yeah,
Jerry.
sure.
I think Jerry should have his own show.
Jerry.
He's my favorite.
He already
character.
does.
I love
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry. No,
With-
Jerry
with, like-
Springer.
with no science fiction in it at all.
Well, it wouldn't have to have science fiction in it because the way he interprets things around him and the really bad luck he has would be so amazing.
Yeah.
A dog eats his an employment check.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
the wolf eats at the
Just
end.
the
That's
master
great.
cut of Rick and Morty is only Jerry and remove all science fiction.
Yeah, he needs a spin-off show. It could be super pedestrian,
There's a
but
few-
I would watch that.
There's a few characters who should come out back who may be able to do spin-offs, like the John Oliver character, little germ guy.
Oh, the Germ guy.
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
Yeah,
Dr.
the-
Bone or whatever.
Yeah, the Stephen Colbert character, who Rick kind of like his rival.
Deep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I forget these characters' names. I
Question-
just know the actors.
Question over here, which is a good question. Whiffysaurus asks on YouTube. Thank you so much for asking all these questions, Whiffysaurus. Do you ever get self-conscious about letting others see your design process? It's a really good question.
Yeah, because I cheat a lot.
Oh, what is considered cheating?
If you're just literally tracing something.
That's not cheating, though. I mean, if
Nah.
it's not. I mean,
Not.
I think cheating is basically little tricks
Yeah.
to use or shortcuts to
But I don't
use.
feel too bad about it.
Well, because it's making production go faster.
Yeah, I would just show people how I work and be unashamed of it. No, this is how you make this thing. You find 3D models and you get a lot of perspective grids and you find real life things and you skew photos and you just make it work.
Yeah.
How about you, Max?
Yeah, I'm not self-conscious about it.
You're like, I'm just the shit.
Yeah. Well, we do a show where we talk about our design process. So
Yeah.
watch it. Damn animation.
When I was in caricatures, as soon as you started drawing someone, I worked at SeaWorld, as soon as someone sat in that chair and started drawing one, 100 people would stand up right behind you and start looking right behind your chair. So I'm used to people watching me when I draw.
Yeah.
Not
It's
embarrassed.
performing.
Yeah.
Georgia
Do you
L
stream at all
says.
when you guys draw?
Streaming wasn't a
when
thing
you
back
guys
then.
We have not streamed
Oh.
live yet, but that would
Yeah.
be a cool thing.
Yeah,
to
we
do.
are going to move
Yeah.
that direction.
Yeah.
Georgia L says that she's gonna trace now.
Yeah, that's great.
She
I
Don't,
traced a
just
lot-
don't put in your portfolio.
I traced a lot of anime
Unless
when
it's
I was
props.
13.
You
Where
trace
I
all
am
your
now.
work and submit to your job.
Yeah.
I got a tip.
Hey, hire me.
When you want to start to learn a style, when you're about to do a test or something, really quickly trace it,
Yeah, you
as
trace it.
fast as you can, just so your hand feels the motion that it's drawn in. So big shapes, big shapes, big shapes, big
And the
shapes.
other thing I would say to that, I think I've said on the podcast before, trace and then start copying.
Yeah.
And then once you start copying, then you should be able to do it without looking at anything.
That's true.
Yeah, if you do it enough, it'll store in your memory.
Yeah.
For sure.
Low Lizzle says, "I love Maxi Poo forever."
Woo! That's Laura.
Nice.
What's up, dude?
We have a thing from the
Wait, who
producer.
is Laura?
Yeah, you don't know her.
Okay.
He loves Maxi Poo.
Not
Brenty The Prehistoric says, you guys have worked on a ton of other stuff than Rick and Morty. Can you give us something to check out that you're super proud of that isn't Rick and Morty that we should know about?
Well,
Bam Animation. Just kidding.
yeah, Bam Animation. I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
That's something that's just that we made. But also, I've been working for the last year and a half on a show that Matt Groening, with you, Sabrina. Yeah. But Matt Groening is doing a new show. He made The Simpsons. He made Futurama, and he's gonna have a new show on Netflix this year. It's called Disenchantment, and I've been working on it from like the like main cast. Like we got to do like concepts and stuff. So coming out soon, Disenchantment.
Netflix, yo.
Yeah, and if you have Netflix, you should watch the show I worked on at Dreamers called Trollhunters.
Yeah.
It's
I
full
watched
CGI.
some of that. That's really
show is
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I got to work on like
Guillermo del Toro.
yeah, the first season.
You can go back.
No, because I worked on other stuff in between. I'm done.
I think it's over.
Yeah, it's
right?
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing like a trilogy thing, right?
Wow.
I do believe they're working on season 3.
Whoa.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun,
Wow.
dun,
It's a
dun.
whole different crew now,
Season
right?
Yeah, it's a
one
whole
of the
different
show
crew.
was
Yeah.
really tight.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
two
know,
questions
It
maybe-
here.
looked like it's feature quality animation.
That was
for like a
great.
TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
have
I hear good
a
things.
new rendering engine which allows them to like achieve all that lighting with like super cheap called
Oh.
Arnold, which was like the whole point of that show is basically like, can we like reuse like all these assets from these old movies, like make a bunch of new cool stuff, and then use this rendering engine, and that's why it looks like a feature.
Nice. So check out Trollhunters and check out Disenchantment when it comes out next year.
This year.
This year, sorry, 2018. This year.
Wiffysaurus asks, do you think it's detrimental to think that using reference is cheating?
You should always use reference. Don't use reference. Holy shit.
I think it's the trick of finding 50 different references and pulling specific tiny things from it and putting it together like an exquisite corpse.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
When you're young and you're up and coming, no one expects you to like remake the wheel.
Yeah.
Like any artist worth their salt can identify where your influences are coming from.
Yeah. Well, also literally the world is reference. Like once we start growing up, we start collecting reference. Like so, like just take it all in and
That's why you should have 2 monitors, like one to put reference on and one to draw on.
Yes,
Like,
please.
Please have dual monitors, guys.
Yeah.
Like
if you're not having dual monitors, we have nothing to do.
yeah.
No, don't say that.
Jesus. Invest in a second monitor.
So we have
At the best.
Chris Carver asks,
Yes.
was it super intimidating to work with the creator of Love is Hell? I'm assuming he's talking about Matt Groening.
Yeah.
And Life in Hell. And
Oh,
Love
Life
is Hell.
in
Oh,
was
yeah,
one
yeah.
of- Well, Love is Hell was one of the books.
Oh,
That's like the
okay.
rabbit stuff.
Yeah. So was it super intimidating to work with Matt Groening?
No, dude, the guy's made so many shows. He knows what he's doing. It's been a breeze. So I've really enjoyed it.
Have you got to work with him? Well, this is B asking. You got to work with him a lot, one-on-one? Or is it like usually you saw him once and never again?
Yeah, I saw him once, and I see him because we have screenings where the whole cast comes in. I mean, table reads where the whole cast comes in and reads. I see him there, but the main thing is we submit artwork to him and he writes back notes. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
He's kind of like
So he actually
Harmon.
does put notes
He's
on
kind of like Harmon, but as an artist.
Yeah.
Or even Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still putting notes on stuff.
He puts a lot of notes.
Oh, wow. Sick. He says crazy.
Yeah.
Georgia L asks, how do you sign up to take drawing tests?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a hard one because that requires just like
Knowing
networking
about
in
it.
general.
Yeah. What are good sites, I guess, to find out that there are even like shows testing?
Maybe if you, the union has a guild email and they usually get workout job sites. Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network will say, hey, we're looking for X designers and artists.
Yeah, you can actually go to the nickcareers.com page and like sign up and like eventually you get a test. Like I signed up for something and 6 months later they sent me a test. So it happens, but it's gonna come down to you finding someone in real life that knows about a test and being part of like the industry like culture. The only most straightforwardest way I could think of would be submitting to Loop de Loop.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of good networking there.
Yeah, if you don't know, Loop de Loop is a short animation festival that anyone could submit to. All you need to be able to do is make a looping animation. It could be like a few frames long or it can be like a few seconds long.
I did one that was too long. I
Too
did
long?
a 5-minute one.
Oh god.
But it all looped.
That
It
is
had
not a loop.
no, it was.
That's a
It was.
long-ass loop.
It had multiple loops inside of it, and then ultimately looped and went back to the beginning.
Did you
so it
submit it to Loop to Loop?
Oh yeah.
And they told you no?
No, they cut it down.
They cut it
Oh, okay. Well, at least they did something with
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, so you got in. And
I
like
got it.
honestly, that would be the best place to start networking is submitting artwork to that, like meeting the people there at the event, and then if it's good, someone is probably going to email you and like want to know if you want to take a test.
I
Like
think there's a Loop to Loop coming up soon.
there's a
so
loop
if
to
you're-
loop coming.
Yeah,
up.
they're having a
We do one
BoJack
every month.
Horseman.
The BoJack
people.
Horseman.
Yeah, my friend Aaron, one of the
Go-
directors on BoJack, is judging it. So
Go
check
to
it out.
that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's free. You can just watch it and see what people are making. And honestly, the bar is pretty low. Like you don't need to be like amazing. You just
No,
need to
anybody
submit.
can
I won once.
You won once.
Oh, you won one. Nice,
Yeah.
Nick. I knew.
What? You won one?
Yeah, I won one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which one did you do?
I did January. I won LA in January.
This January?
No, not this January. Like maybe like 2 years ago.
Was it the one where all the faces like went back like this? No. Which
No,
one was
no,
it?
mine
What
was
was the
like
theme?
a 3D astronaut
Did it?
gang.
Oh, that's
Did it
so
have a
cool.
theme? That because usually they do a theme.
I don't remember what it was. It was
Okay.
like
That's cool.
it was 2 years ago. So
Yeah, I submit. I've submitted like a few times. But
yeah, I've seen you there a few times.
yeah, dude, it's awesome. Yeah, Loop to Loop owns. Like that's like the coolest thing ever.
That's good advice. Where they look? Where they normally have their shows?
The
All
downtown-
around.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
downtown
they're different
independent now.
locations.
Yeah.
Okay.
think they
Mainly
even
like
had
in
one at Nickelodeon once.
Australia and here, and then
Yeah.
I think they're like in like the UK now, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just
they start in
everywhere.
Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
But
we,
they have great shows and they're free all around the world, and they had a Indiegogo campaign a couple years ago. So now they had like they do lots of crazy different stuff. I highly recommend it.
If you're a budding animator in the industry, somebody that wants to work,
Yeah.
go there. There's tons of industry people there just to
That's-
kind of chat with.
That's how my ex got her job. It's so straightforward. It's so amazing.
Nice.
we got a new watcher on YouTube, Gabe Deval.
Oh, that's
Gabe.
Delval.
Gabe
De-
Deval.
I don't know. Is it Deval?
Gabe.
Del
It's
Del
Gabe.
Valley?
It's Gabe.
Hi, Gabe. I
Is
know
that
who you are.
literally
He says,
Gabe?
hi,
It's Gabe.
Anthony,
Yeah.
Sabrina, Max, Brent, and a gentleman I don't know, which is Nick.
Wow. Hey,
And Brian.
Gabe.
Gabe is awesome.
Yeah,
what's
Gabe
up,
is awesome.
dude? I love you, Gabe.
We got a couple questions here. Do you have questions on
I
Instagram?
have one question on Instagram.
Okay, ask the question.
Okay. Tell us an instance of you screwing up something that still made it into a show.
He's like, I'm
Yeah,
perfect.
never messed anything up.
Yeah,
No,
he
no.
never messes up.
I still look at Pickle Rick and go, God, there's too many lines on him.
Yeah.
And this is me wanting to smack him because we remember that. You're like, no, it's not perfect. And we're like, leave it.
Pickle Rick was perfect. To a lot of people, Pickle Rick was
Max is a perfectionist.
Yeah, we did a 16-point turn on that fucker.
You did a
Yeah.
great job,
Jesus
Max.
Christ.
It turned out nice.
You're like, nice.
How about you, Brett? Anything you screwed up?
I probably fudged the perspective on a few backgrounds in Futureware that looked terrible. I drew some bad effects in Rick and Morty, but the effects person at Bardell ended up like redrawing a lot of it, so those never made it in. And then once I like turned in a background, there was like a table of food, and there was like a candle that was supposed to be behind a fish, and then it got moved to be sitting like in front of the fish, so it looked like there was a candle sitting on a fish, and that's what happened in the episode. And I was like looking at that like, oh, it's supposed to be behind the fish. Yeah,
That's pretty funny. Layering issue.
layering issue.
Oh, those.
I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, I have a pretty infamous one with the Mexican Armada from Interdimensional Cable.
Oh hell yeah.
I know I've told this one on a DVD before, but it's in the script it said Mexican Armada arrives by sea, but I wasn't paying attention to that part of the detail in the script, so I just in my head it said Mexican Armada. I thought Space Armada.
Yeah.
So I had like sombreros as spaceships coming down. And I had already drawn
That's
the
like
board.
classic from that episode.
Yeah, I had already drawn the board. I'd already done it, and I was like, and I reread the script. I was like, oh shit. And I had to ask Justin. I was like, hey, is it okay if they're space aliens now instead of just like normal Mexican fleet armada? So that was my mistake. Yeah.
That's
No, that was
great.
your miracle. That
Mhm.
wasn't a mistake.
So they
Okay.
ended up changing the line for.
No,
Nope.
they kept the line
It's
because
a-
it only said in the script. It said like Justin says Mexican Armada shows up, but in the script it says they arrived by sea. So it means it was boats, not like
So
spaceships.
you never said C in the actual show.
The
Right.
flying sombreros
So it
are
was
better.
supposed to be
are
a-
better visual.
That's
yeah.
what Justin said.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an amphibious invasion.
Amazing.
Oh,
Like a Mexican
Yeah,
D-Day.
Yeah.
literally like fishmen. You just come up on land.
Smith.
So we got a question over here by Wiffysaurus. Would you consider doing a Pop Team Epic styled episode?
Fuck yeah, dude. I love Pop Team Epic.
They were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier.
Oh my god. Dude, I was gonna say, we're gonna have in May an episode of our show BAM Animation. It's called Anime.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna direct that one. I'm a big anime fan. Brent, not as much, right?
I used to love anime a lot, but I just can't watch it anymore.
I watch it all.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I would like hella do an Evangelion episode, but
There you go.
Yeah.
it's a Max episode.
I love
so, like,
Evangelion. I would do that
I'm
too.
gonna let him pick
yeah.
whatever he wants.
Do
Yeah.
Trigun request
Anime.
by me.
Yeah.
Anime.
So you're gonna
Trigun.
redraw their characters in an anime style?
Yeah, we have a special guest, Hayao Miyazaki. He will be on.
Oh,
You'll
please.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia L asks, what is it like to work with Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon?
Ha!
Well,
Brian has something to
Guys,
say
no,
after
They're
that.
still our bosses. Let's
Yeah.
Yeah, we do not
I'll-
represent the views in any way of Rick and Morty. We just work there
Yeah.
sometimes. Like it's only a short gig. Yeah.
Justin is one of the best people I've ever worked for because every time he's ever had an idea, he told me specifically exactly what he wanted. He brought me in a room and he's like, all right, man, like this scene right here, it's going to be like this movie called War Games, and they're going to pull out this pink envelope, and if you've seen the movie, like he's going to bend it just like this. He literally just says that, and then you do it.
He's
and
really
he's, like, happy
eccentric
with
and
it.
fun.
Yeah, he knows what he wants.
Yeah, he's never come up with like a stupid idea or like an idea that didn't make sense.
No, his ideas are stupid.
Yeah,
but
they're
fun.
just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if he ever changed anything, it always, I mean, it made it better. He never asked for anything stupid.
Yeah.
And then Dan, like, I barely work with him since he doesn't really like.
He's not very
he's not-
interactive.
Not in the art side. But the one time I did work with him, he was trying to fix this character in an episode of Community, and he just kind of like had a rap with the artist, and he like talked out loud, and he was like, all right, what if we have him be a placeholder character? And I was like, yeah, and like, what if you didn't draw his face? He just had like an X on his face because that's like a temp, like face drawing. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. And we did it. And so that's my Dan experience.
Yeah.
What's yours?
I love Justin's awesome. He's super social. He's just like what Brent said. Like he tells you exactly what he wants. Dan, yeah, he doesn't work too much with the artists, but I gotta say, like, when you get his scripts, the bones of the script, like from the moment you read the script, is funny. And like that's rare.
That's
like
true.
like it's like, wow, I can imagine this scene like so well. So he's an incredible writer. He's like one of the best ones out there right now, and Dan's amazing.
Dominic, Animation Vault.
Animation Vault.
He goes,
What's up, dude?
Have you guys talked about Harmon Quest yet? You should talk about Harmon
A little
Quest.
bit.
So
Yeah,
guys
a couple of
who
songs.
don't know, the showrunner of Harmon Quest just called in and told us to talk about his show.
He's not Animation Vault
Yeah.
on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Hi, Dominic.
Hey Dominic.
That's so funny. Yeah, literally the creator. I mean, well, not the creator, but that show.
I mean, honestly, Harmon Quest is a great show. You can watch it on VRV.
Verve,
Yeah, I love.
as Max says,
Yeah.
Verve.
Yeah, I loved working on it. It was so cool.
I loved working on it
And it's
too.
honestly like super funny, and like if you just want to see like more like kind of tangentially Rick and Morty content, you should check it out because it's just super improv based, and you get to watch Dan just like be himself and like get to know the characters of the people he hangs out with in real life, because it just has this very like real life element to it, and then it's also animated and just it's like fun to watch.
He says love ya. Dominic says love ya. He loves us.
Dominic, I miss you at Starburns, man.
Yeah, I miss
Thought we
Dom,
should
dude.
Come back and play video games with me more.
Okay, next question.
Is there a question on Instagram?
No.
No?
Any more questions out there, Instagram?
Let us know what you think. Like and subscribe.
Oh, can you tell us about the different design departments? Wiffysaurus asks.
Yeah, you were a boss. Tell us, like, how many employees have you had under you now?
Yeah.
I guess
in
really
season
quick.
3, I had 4 people under me, which was crazy, and I've never done that. And if you watch the interview that we just got finished doing, I talk about like getting to know, like saying good morning to people and being nice to people every day. It's even worse on like when you have like employees under you, like they care about what you think and stuff. So like it's a challenge.
I was like, Max, help me.
Yeah, and I was like, shut up!
I got yelled at a lot. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Specifically, you're talking about character design.
Yeah, character design. So the departments are character design, prop design, and background design, and storyboards,
There's
And
also
color.
and color. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 5 major departments.
Well, there's color for like backgrounds,
Yeah.
and then there's color for
yeah, and
characters.
together
paint.
they make
Yeah.
a pentagram, and Rick and Morty rises.
Oh, this is a good question. Did either of you start off as PAs, or did you go directly into design?
I went directly into design. I guess you could start off as a PA.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Sabrina totally did.
Sully last time.
Yeah.
Sully
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I went right into design.
Dude, if that's
They're
the
just
way you make it
badass.
in, like that's awesome. You should do that.
Yeah.
Doable.
There's
However
many
you get it
ways.
in, man.
Yeah.
Christopher Carver says,
Love you, Chris Carver.
thanks for making the world a little cooler. And if you're ever in Houston and want tattoos, he'll hook you up.
Yeah, I was about to
Oh.
say Chris is an awesome tattoo artist.
Well,
Dang.
I'm from
Dang.
Texas, so we'll see.
Yeah. He might go and visit
Do you
his
have any you guys have
hometown.
any tattoos?
Yeah.
No.
Do you guys have any?
No.
Really? You boring.
None that
Yeah.
available, right?
I just, I don't know why I would.
I have a
anyone would get
Miyazaki
tattoos.
tattoo. Miyazaki.
Oh,
Okay.
she has one. What's
Yeah,
that?
it's Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki's,
There you go.
Oh, sick.
Delivery
Kiki.
service. It's her and her cat.
My
Brent, do you have any tattoos?
I don't.
You gotta go.
Come on, you
Christopher's gonna
people.
hook you up.
I'm kind of like the Beatles' White Album. I'm just a blank sheet of paper. That's all I am.
Oobla-da,
Yeah.
Brent.
The content is inside.
Yeah.
So
Also, he convinced Charles Manson to kill Sharon Tate.
what art
It's a little
schools?
history.
What art schools would you guys recommend by Wikisource?
CalArts, and I wish I had gone to CalArts because they get to make 4 films.
Yeah.
I like Art
Um,
Center. Me
yeah.
personally.
Art Center, I went to Art Center. I learned discipline.
If you're in the East Coast, RISD,
SVA.
SVA is pretty
Yeah.
good. Sheridan, if you're up north. I don't know what they're in
That's in
Florida.
Canada.
They're in Canada, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're a really good school.
I,
And if you're a fucking badass, Goblins.
go,
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
I would just go to
It's
any.
French.
Oh, shit.
I would just go to any community college and take dirt cheap animation classes
Yes.
for nothing, and then just work on your portfolio. And over time, you're gonna get good and apply it to something really good one day.
If you want to be practical.
Yeah.
Spend hours on the
Yeah.
internet like Brent did.
Spend
and
hours
and
on-
get
yeah.
famous.
You'll find more about that when the interview drops in 2
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah.
No, you can learn a lot from community colleges, and you don't need to be. You don't need to go into
Yeah,
debt.
like
'Cause-
Santa Monica has a pretty decent animation.
yeah.
For just like traditional animation. I think even state schools like Cal State Northridge.
Yes.
They have animation too.
Yes.
San Jose State.
I'll tell you a secret. Like, I wasn't good enough to go to art school when I was 18. I was like dirt shit. So like, I needed a few years to just like work on myself. And like, a community college would be a good place to just like work on your art and have it just be super low stakes, and you get to learn a little bit
Yeah.
about the programs and all that good
Not
stuff.
expensive. Also, if you're local to maybe LA and maybe even New York, I don't know about New York specifically, but like take specific classes like guild
Yeah, just
classes, or
classes.
like it's
Yeah.
definitely cheaper than going to college, and you get all the information you're gonna possibly need.
Concept Design Academy out
Yeah,
here.
CDA.
Yeah.
Mozobot says there's Capilano in British Columbia if you want to do more frame by frame animation stuff. I haven't heard of that place, but that's cool. Capilano.
Is the competition really as bad as everyone says, Georgia L?
Well, there's a lot of competition among a lot of people that aren't qualified. But once you like get into being really good, there's just like a vast ocean of basically unqualified people that like can't get in, and then above that there's like a lot of people who do good work that there's usually enough work to go around.
I feel like it's because people don't actually try. I think that's just like a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, it seems like a very romantic career to get into, so there's all this like interest in it, but there's not a lot of qualified
Go-getters.
people. And honestly, if you're qualified and talented, there will be work for you.
Yeah, you'll find work. And the other thing, it shouldn't always be competition. It should also be cooperation, as we said it before.
Yeah, and just
It's
doing.
collaborative medium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get to work on like Star versus Force of Evil and like get to work on the premiere like design shows, but there will be work for you if you are willing to take it.
Oh, we should get Dagman.
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
Wifisource asks, how important is life and still life drawing?
Pretty important. You should do that.
Yeah. I mean, he's a prop designer, and yeah, but I think it's so easy to do. That's why I like it. Like, you can draw your friends, yeah, but you can also draw this plate of broccoli and cauliflower. You know, it's pretty easy and good
these
practice.
cookies.
Use a pen though, so that you're forced to live with your own mistakes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the biggest tip I've ever
How
learned.
important is life drawing? Like figure drawing.
That's what we
I
just.
love figure drawing.
Oh.
I love figure drawing. I think it's really important. But the real thing that it helps me do is instead of carving like really slowly, it helps me fight like Zorro. Like learn fencing a little bit more. Like be confident in my lines. Yeah.
Gesture work.
Yeah, gesture. Yeah.
I honestly didn't get enough figure drawing because I went to like a shit tier school, so I'm a prop designer now. You definitely have that to look forward to if you don't do all your homework.
And I just want to express myself.
It's interesting, the two disciplines, because when you expressing gesture works better for characters because characters have to have more life, but like you have to have a more rigid industrial like design to do like vehicles and buildings and props and like debris and all that stuff, because that's not as expressive. It's
Yeah,
kinda
I
like
noticed-
it needs to look a certain way.
I noticed Brent is more of a technical artist, and then you're more expressive and all about rhythm in your designs and everything. So there's definitely a technical way of approaching designs, and then there's more of a fluid way.
There's no right way.
There isn't.
Well, some tend to be more towards one or the other. I know I'm very technical.
I can get really technical as well, and Brent can be really expressive at times. So
Would you ever
Just
consider
artist.
being, with Brent, would you ever consider being a character designer? And Max, would you ever consider being a background/prop designer?
well, on a upcoming episode of BAM,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to switch roles.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I actually want to see that.
Oh, I 100% want to be a character designer one day. I definitely want to have done that job for real.
I've done some backgrounds, and I think once you set up the perspective grid, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And I'm looking. I would like to do backgrounds one day also. Yeah.
Georgia L asked if you're established in the industry as a character designer or storyboard artist, how difficult is it to move between the departments if you want to switch?
If you're really good, it's not that hard.
Yeah, right?
If you know people and you're like, hey man, I've cut my hair, I've given up the whole character design thing. I want to do backgrounds, and they're like, I know you from before. I know that you're a good chap, so give it a shot.
Yeah, just like if you even want to get into the business, you just have to prove you can do it.
Yeah.
Your hair.
Cut your hair.
Yeah. I just saw Seven Samurai again last night, so
That movie's
so he
the
fucking
best.
cuts it off. Like,
It's one of the best movies ever.
yeah.
I have a question for Brent.
Okay. Is this for Sabrina or from the YouTube?
From Wiffysaurus.
Oh, Wiffysaurus, all right.
If you didn't go to art school, what made you deviate from your original career path?
What was your original career?
Yeah,
path?
did you have an original career path?
I had like notions. of,
Football?
Yeah, football. I had like some notion that I was gonna be an IT person. I was gonna fix computers.
Oh gosh, that's so doable.
Yeah, and I was like standing in line to register
Radio
for
Shack?
that.
Just kidding.
No, to register for that in college, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm never gonna talk to another girl again if I like go into this program. And I like,
But Geek Squad.
yeah, like I can't type in computer languages. I'm a terrible typist. The only thing I'm good at is drawing, and like somebody draws like axes and shit in World of Warcraft, and like if I could just learn how to draw, like I could work for video games or like TV or animation, and I could have that job, and like then I'll be like a cool creative type like artist. Like that's what I should do.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna do that instead.
Can I say something about that? I know at every studio there is an IT person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you can work in animation too if you want to be in IT.
yeah, if you really love animation and you're really good at computers, like there are IT jobs out there where you're just like around the studio helping people fix problems.
There's lots of jobs. Like there's
Shout out to Jay.
there's janitors, there's security
And
guards,
Nick.
And
there's,
Nick Ramirez.
Yeah, Nick Ramirez.
there's all types of other support
Yeah,
staff that are in
production,
studios.
organization.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
There's production jobs, trust me.
Marketing,
Dude, I went
HR.
into it's Sony when they were rendering that terrible Spider-Man movie. They have a whole underground rendering farm, which is ice cold because all the computers are
Get
going
hot.
at the same time and they're getting
Wait,
really hot.
you mean Amazing Spider-Man? Is that
Yeah,
one?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one's terrible.
And then if there's a fire, all the air gets sucked out of the room because they want to preserve the servers and not the human lives.
It gets sucked out of the room and into the offices where everyone's working.
Yeah.
Artists first.
Yeah.
We have a question here from Mozobot. She's wondering, would either of you guys consider storyboarding, or do you always prefer design?
Storyboarding is probably the one thing I can't do.
I did storyboarding in college, and I'm probably more confident than I should be at it, but I really loved doing it, and I would love to get back into it. It's just so much fucking work that I'm going to cruise on the character design wave until I have to hit the sharp rocks of storyboarding.
From the times I've tried it, I always felt like it was like so difficult, and I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. It's so daunting. It's so to me.
Yeah.
I just don't want to stay at work as long as storyboard artists do.
What do you think, Brian? Is it hard for you? I mean.
Well, I actually, because I started doing props and characters, and then doing the animatic, the storyboarding. It's just a transition. You just put yourself in a different headspace. For example, like when you are a designer, you have the time to finesse a drawing.
Yeah.
When you're a board artist, you cannot do that. It's more about speed, it's efficiency, and it's about clarity. But having done design for all that time, I know how to produce something really quickly, and I cut out the fat and just move it on. So it's like that actually is good experience. The fact that you have done the design, you have done those parts of production. It's better than not have done any of that, and then you're like, you get into a board and it's like, oh, I want to make this the most beautiful board ever. It's like, don't do that. No one's ever going to see that.
Yeah.
Do a quick drawing and move on.
Storyboards can be really ugly, and that's like the point.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that when I first walked into animation. I was like, I thought they were gonna like be these like beautiful Disney drawings, because like that's what they told me storyboard looks like.
Because even when Disney did that, those were style boards.
Those are style boards.
Yeah, and they'll do that specifically to show. They'll take like a rough board and just like make it super pretty. Yeah.
Or like you'll see like storyboards from like a feature film like The Matrix, and they'll be like super well done, and you'll be like, damn, never forget.
Damn.
Yeah.
They don't actually look like that, but they do look amazing.
Yeah. We do a pretty decent job.
This thing says it's ending in 5 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, because it's been an hour.
Oh, okay.
Have we been doing this just for an hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
We just
You can just go.
Good one.
All right, well, we actually, we got one question. I think this is going to be our last question. I think this is a good time to close.
Yeah.
So Wiffysaurus asks the last question. Thank you, Georgia L. and Wiffysaurus, for sticking with us for the entire...
Yeah, what's your...
Oh my god. Dominic asks a question too.
Fuck Dominic.
Okay, I guess, okay,
awesome.
2 last questions. What was it like working with the famous Kyle?
Kyle
Is
Katz?
that Wiffysaurus?
Yeah.
I know who that is.
She's been on board this entire
Wait,
time.
who's with you then?
Her name's Tiffy.
Oh, is it Tiffy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How
What's
was
up,
it
Tiffy?
working with
She was
her?
in my guild.
How was it working with Kyle? And then Dominic asks, when is the Louis C.K. the cops coming back?
Y'all are just trolling.
That's Dominic.
But I will say, working with the famous Kyle, no sexual harassment at all. Always a gentleman.
I love Kyle.
We love Kyle.
I love Kyle. Kyle's so awesome.
We miss you, Kyle. We miss you, Kyle.
Shout out to
Can
Kyle.
we get Kyle on the show?
I know.
Yeah, you should-
Let's get Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's pretty sweet.
And then Dominic,
Yeah, what about-
stop trolling.
I didn't work on cops. I don't know anything.
Oh my god. Well, you know what
I
happened.
mean, I know what
so,
happened. Yeah.
It's so
not-
brilliant.
I don't-
Anthony can
Well, I guess, yeah.
answer that question,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like the one person that dodged Louis C.K.'s dick. I don't
Yeah.
know how I did that, but I didn't get fired.
Well, he asked permission
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
so-
he asked
Yeah.
permission.
I lost my job.
Like 100, I think 130 people got fired from that show.
Yeah, because
And,
like
like-
it was like 70 in Bardell.
Like I think there was at least like 70 to 80 in Canada,
yeah,
and then
like
there was
40, 50.
at
where we
le-
were.
yeah, I think I counted once, and it was over 50 people here at Starburns that were working on the show,
Yep.
including the writers and everybody. So
Yes,
yeah, there's like
that's true.
130 something people that lost their jobs, but
Yeah,
somehow I didn't.
That's
I was
why you
able to
can't
move
let
on to animals.
dicks get to the top.
That's a cheerful ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Dominic, for that.
Thanks, Dom.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us for this full hour. Mostly Georgia L. and Wiffysaurus. Thank you guys
Thanks,
so much.
Tiffy.
If
Thanks,
this was
Tiffy.
still on, it'd be Rosobot or whatever it was. But do I just press share? What do I do
Yeah,
now?
share for the next 24 hours. Okay, so Max, Brent,
Hello.
Yes.
thank you so much
Thanks, guys.
Oh, no problem.
for
Thank you.
hanging around with us. This was fun. Any last plugs before we say bye?
Bam Animation. That's our YouTube channel.
What's it? Check it out. It's fake.
Check it out. It's good.
Yeah.
3 episodes. If you got 21 minutes, you
Yeah.
can watch it all.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then tune in for the full interview in a few weeks with these 2 awesome folks.
Heck yes.
Look at
Yeah.
those sexy dudes.
All right, and everybody say bye.